wonderful, refreshing light. Perfect. And it's now time for the scripture reading, and I'll try to keep my voice for the entire time. The scripture reading is taken from the Lamsa translation of the Bible, Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, by means of reasonable service. Do not imitate the way of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds, that you may discern what is good and acceptable and the perfect will of God. And thus concludes the scripture reading, Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. There is a lot going on in our environment today. A lot of changes are happening. So many changes and so many unexpected changes and so many drastic changes that it can be jarring. And we can hardly keep up. Many people are shocked, scared, lost, frustrated, and angry. And how do we deal with all that? So we're going to look at it with a spiritual lens. As always, we have more than one option. The first option is to do nothing. Perhaps because we don't feel that we're concerned with what's happening, or perhaps that we feel that we are so concerned that we feel paralyzed and we would rather ignore what's going on. But can we actually do that? We can talk to our friends and share our fears and our concerns. And sometimes it feels good to vent, right? But the risk of doing that is that we can bring our own energy down emotionally. Because when we lend our energy to lower energies and lower vibrations, we run the risk of staying down or even going down further. Also, when we do that, what is our true intention? And what is the intention of those that we do that with? Is it to get those things off our chest and move on? Or is it to stay there because we don't know what else to do? We need to be very discerning of our intentions. Are we talking about what's happening so we can let the pressure off the lid? Or are we so confused and frustrated that we just stay in that cycle and then we talk about our frustrations and our anger repeatedly? Honestly, I would like to tell you that my intentions are always to just release the pressure and then move on. But I realize that I have to make an extra effort to get off the merry-go-round of fear, the fear of the unknown and frustration. Also, we need to be aware of the energies that we create. We might think that by talking about our fears and all the pain that we're going through, we solve a problem. But we might actually create another one. As divine metaphysicians, we have learned that what we lend our energy to will create more of that energy. So when we talk about our fears and angers, we perpetuate the energies of fear and anger. And those energies stay with us, and then they consume us. And then they grow, and then they expand outside of our energy field. And then that's what we share with the world. Then, with the law of attraction, it's always in motion. What we send into the universe will flow back to us. So we need to be very mindful of the consequences of our actions, regardless of what we think our intentions are. We must be discerning and very clear with our intentions. So that was option 2. Talk about what's going on. And then there's the path described in the scripture, a path forward, a way to deal with the big and perhaps overwhelming changes that are taking place right now. Present your bodies as living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God by means of reasonable service. To me, the scripture is a call to action. So what this call to action would look like spiritually. A means of reasonable service. We can be supportive by giving space to those who need to process what's going on. And that is kind and it is loving. But have you been around people who you're trying to help, and then at the end of the conversation, you are exhausted, completely drained? Because when we, empath, provide space for others, if we don't solidify and purify our own energy, we take it all in. We take everybody's energy in. And then before we know it, our own energy is being drained. When we lend an ear to our friends and to our loved ones, we need to protect our own energy. We can visualize our energy field staying bright and strong. But sometimes we need to pull back a bit. We can close our energy field to protect ourselves. Some doing by simply visualizing a zipper that's being closed. Close that zipper all the way up to protect yourself. But then at some point, you'll need to open it a bit. And now I'm going to tell you why. Let's talk about reasonable service. The spiritual reasonable service, and that is, we call the great healer and let it do its work, and we let it take over. You might ask, who is the great healer? Who is he? Because somehow it's always a he. Well, not really. The great healer is a part of ourselves that loves unconditionally and heals all of life. It is the divine presence that resides inside of you and can manifest through you. If somehow, though, you find it difficult to believe that the great healer is inside of you or is a part of you, and that it's instead something very separate from you that can manifest through you, then fine. Because sometimes it can be hard to accept our greatness. And if we try to overanalyze, our intellect and past conditioning will block us from knowing the truth and for doing our work, and we limit ourselves. So don't focus too much on who and what the great healer is. Just call it. Call the great healer. Ask the great healer to come, manifest and express through you and do its work. Now let's talk about how it is done. Some of you have gone through spiritual healing, have been trained as healers or Reiki practitioners. So you have an idea of how this is done. Now, for me, the great healer is called with an intention. And then we let the process flow. Intention and flow. That process is not limited to trained healer. If you think that you can do it because you have not been trained as a healer, get that idea out of your mind. We all do it. Some of us do it intentionally, and it's accessible to all. We are all made out of that same pure essence. We just need to recognize it and harness it. Right now I'm thinking of parents that put their hands on their child's forehead. That is a form of healing. So it's not limited to those who have been trained as healers. So just recognize your potential. Now, we talked about intention. Let's talk about the second ingredient in the recipe, alignment. If we want that purest part of ourselves to express through us, we need to align our energy with the energy of love and healing. We need to raise our vibration. Raise our vibration through prayer, meditation, contemplation. So here's the recipe: intention, alignment. When you sit down to meditate, perhaps you just sit down and go right in. But perhaps you also decide what you will do with this quiet time that you have available to you. You can go in with the intention to first meditate and then send healing. You quiet your mind, you connect with the peaceful presence inside of you, and then you call the great healer inside of you. And the great healer inside of you will send healing energies to those around you and to the world. Your loved ones, your friends, your neighbors, those who are scared, jobless, live in poverty, those who are sick, hungry, homeless, and those who live in war zones, heads of states. And don't forget you, because you deserve healing too. Do it first thing in the morning, and then when you see something throughout the day, when the thought arises, just send healing. Just do it. It doesn't take a long preparation. Just do it. In your meditation, for example, in the morning, you can ask the great healer to send you reminders throughout the day. And then let those signs appear around you, and then notice them. And then send healing. You can send healing throughout the day in little episodes. When you see some news that's disturbing, bless it. Send healing. Send the highest energy of love and vibration. Align with the energy of peace, the energy of love, not the energy of frustration and fear and condemnation. Call the great healer and let it do its work. Always go back to your place of peace so that your great healer can emerge. Intention, alignment, heal, repeat. The more you go to that place of peace, the more you radiate that energy of love and peace, unbeknownst to you. And then the more healing you'll be able to provide to the world. The great healer within you will be able to work even when you don't think about it. So join group healing meditations if you can, and if you're not already part of it. It will keep you focused, and as a group, healing will get amplified. There are many options available. In person, online, you'll find something that fit your schedule and that you will be drawn to. Just do it. Because seek and you shall find. You are special. You have great powers. We are special and we have great powers. We all can be of service to humanity. And God knows how much service humanity needs right now. Great healers do not imitate the way of this world. They live a life of service to mankind. Every day, we make choices about who and what we are going to be. We make that choice by associating ourselves with certain groups of people. By choosing to come here instead of sleeping in because daylight saving time, right? You chose a higher path. By coming to this chapel as opposed to traditional churches, you chose a higher path too. You chose a path of resistance, resistance to norms. You were brave to dare to come here to a non-traditional church. And perhaps you were judged by others by doing so. Some of you might have lost friends or even contacts with dear family members. But you came here because your soul, your spirit, your entire being called you to come here. You came here for the renewing of your mind. And you are here now. And we are very happy that you are here. Because we need you. The world needs you today. Today more than ever. This is a call to action. It is a call for spiritual action and transformation for us and for the entire world. Spiritual healing that has transformative power. Healing done in the silence of your soul. Do not dwell in energies that don't serve your higher purpose. Let go of them, however challenging it might be. I'm asking you to let the great healer in you emerge, so that together we can transform the world, open the hearts of humanity, and let love emerge and transform humanity. Be holy and acceptable to God by means of reasonable service. Do not imitate this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may discern the perfect will of God and heal the world. Intention, alignment, heal, repeat. Many blessings. And now that we are filled with the presence, let's move into the healing meditation. Take a few deep breaths. And as you breathe in, you fill your lung with air. And you visualize your lungs being filled with light. And then as you breathe out, see this light expand into your body. And we're going to do this 3 times. And then as I strike the bowl, follow the sound and visualize light expand into your heart center. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. See the light expand in your entire being. Let this light expand. Expand outside of your body now. Maybe a foot outside of your body. Follow the sound. And let your light expand more and more and more. See and feel your light. Fill this chapel. More and more light. And now to our community. All of Arlington, whatever city you might be in online, your state and your light, your healing light is now flowing onto this entire country. Beyond its borders, throughout the continent, across the oceans, expanding throughout the world. Our light is expanding, covering the entire planet. See the glow of the planet, the glow of Mother Earth. It is your glow. It is our glow, our combined glow. And it's growing and growing and growing onto the universe. Growing, growing, growing. And as the sound fades, gently come back to your body. Reclaim your energy, all the energy of you that has not been shared. Call it back to yourself. And gently come back. Thank you for lending your energy to this meditation, to this moment of healing. You are all healers.